and 1 point in arcane knowledge for the magic penetration. And I pick up 2 points in hardiness, 2 points in resistance, 2 points in yielding, 1 point in block, just to get a little bit extra tankiness. Points on yielding and block are pretty nice because they allow you to mitigate a lot of auto attack damage during trades. Second. And then I pick up 3 points in tenacious. I really like the crowd control reduction. It just allows you to not be tethered down in team fights. Their team, let's see, the team I'm about to play against has Fiddlesticks, Karma, Jax, and no CC from Janarazo really, but that's a lot of CC just from those 3 champions. So I'm definitely gonna be able to use that 15% tenacity to my advantage. 1 point Juggernaut, just capitalize on that bonus health you get. 1 point Defender, 1 point in Good Hands, 1 point Reinforced Armor, 1 point Safeguard, and 1 point Honor Guard. These points are pretty interchangeable. You can really go for whatever you want, but I'll go over the masteries one more time after the game because I started out of time. But you just want to be able to get really tanky as Vladimir. Like I said, I like to build him Glass Cannon, but if you spec 21-9-0 or 21-0-9, you're going to be doing a little bit more damage with your abilities, but you're not going to be surviving nearly as long in team fights. And on Vladimir, you do the most when you can spam your cooldowns and get the damage off from spamming the cooldowns. If you can do a little bit more damage on your abilities, but you can't survive long enough to take advantage of that, then what's the point? So I just loaded into the game right now. This is taking the top lane, episode 8 on Vladimir. I explained Transfusion, I explained Sanguine Pool. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Tides of Blood and Hemoplague before the creeps spawn. But for my starting items, I will pick up Reju Bead, 5 health pots, and a ward. One second. Alright, change my stream title. Thanks, Edward. Alright, so I'm going to pick up Reju Bead, 5 health pots, and a ward. There are a lot of item starts you can go with on Vladimir. You can get like boots, 4 health pots, or Duran's shield, 1 pot, or even cloth 5 if you think you really need it versus like a heavy AD matchup. But the reason I like Reju Bead, 5 health pots, and a ward is that I get my ward, I get to be pretty safe in the laning phase. I get a bunch of health pots so I can fall back on and sustain should my Q and my passive regen not be enough, and I get the Reju Bead, which I can build into a Spirit Stone and a Spear of the Spectral Wraith, which is actually a really powerful item on Vladimir, and I'll explain why once I start working up to it. I actually like to pick up Spear of the Spectral Wraith almost every time I play him these days. I just think it gives so much for the cost, and it's almost irreplaceable now that after they nerfed Will of the Ancients repeatedly. But so I don't have to help my jungler leash. So Tides of Blood, it's an AoE move. If you can look at the range right now, it basically hits everything in range of that. So if there's 1,000 targets in range of Tides of Blood here, then it'll hit all of them for whatever damage it shows. And you can stack up Tides of Blood, so you can get up to maximum of 4 stacks, which when you have additional stacks, it increases your healing and regeneration by a set percentage. But the thing is, it'll do more damage for however many stacks it has, but the thing is, every stack will cost 25% more to cast, and all of Vladimir's skills, except for his Q, have a health cost. So you want to be really careful when you start stacking that up. When you have a lot of spell vamp and you can just spam it, like for example, once you finish your Spear of Spectral Wraith, you can afford to just spam that Tides of Blood and get away with it. But earlier on, you can definitely not, because you'll just run out of it. You'll just hurt yourself for way too much health. Right here I see the Jax. He starts with Red Pot and he has all AD runes, so I have to be really careful. I do not want to get all in by level 2 Jax and end up having to blow a summoner, so I'm just going to sit back, let the wave push into me, because I've noticed that Jax is auto-attacking the creep wave a little bit more than he has to, and I'm just going to go for the CS, just farming. Vladimir's early game is pretty bad. You can poke a little bit with your Q versus melee champions and stuff, but you're almost never going to guarantee an early game kill, especially without Ignite. He just used his Q and his E. He didn't actually get any autos off. He literally just got the damage and the stun off. The Q damage and the stun off, so he wasn't able to do much. I'm just going to take Pool here, or my E here, because I don't think I'm going to get Dove, and I'm not in a real position to get ganked because I'm so pushed up to my turret. My E is just going to allow me to last hit a little bit under turret, and to wave clear.
I am Lord and Master.
So it's going to be a little bit tricky. do last hit here. I'm gonna use my E.
Witness the depths of despair.
Moves here to gank. Be careful, he's a red pot. He already popped his ghost, so there's not much more we have to do there. I actually picked up most of those creeps, surprisingly, even though I was level 2 and they were pushed up to my turret, because I got 2 stacks of E off, and I was able to pop them. Jax actually popped his red pot on his retreat there. He got kind of scared, and he popped his ghost. If the bandage didn't hit, then he probably would have been fine not popping it, but I guess he just wanted to guarantee that he'd survive. I'm going to push out my wave here, and probably go back to buy, because the Jax is going to have a free base back, and I just want to be careful not to give him too much of an advantage. I can actually push up the next wave. It's a cannon creep, so I don't want to miss it. I'm just going to stay a little bit.
There is a monster in
Popped his ignite. I'll be fine.
which vessel shall
Didn't have to
I
waste my
empty
ghost.
next?
When he took a turret shot, I was like, wow, this guy is like trying to go all in for this. So I was a little worried, but he missed out on a lot of CS here while he was chasing me. So I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna get Amped Home here, boots, and a ward. I don't really have enough gold to get double Amped Home and a ward, so I just want to be safe. My ward's only gonna last for another 2 minutes, and mid lane actually lost all their wards, so Fiddlesticks could try to come around from this sort of an angle, and I want to be really careful about that. Hang back top. Generally, as Vladimir versus melee champions, you want to bully them up with your take advantage of your range. Like right now, I'm gonna hit level 5 very soon, and I can spam transfusion on the Jax. The problem is Jax popped the red pot, so his early game is already really strong for the first 3 minutes, and I want to be very conscientious of that fact. I can still get some harass off, but I can't really go too hard on him. And my main goal is just to get farm and to get CS.
The skies will rain red.
So I got most of those creeps in our turret. Learning how to CS with Vladimir in our turret is a really important tool, because a lot of times you will end up getting pushed up, and you're gonna have to be able to do it. As long as you want to play safe in lane. It's almost impossible to get ganked and die as Vladimir if you are playing safe and you're not overextending. He just has so many tools for escape, especially if you run the Flash Ghost on your skill set. Because the reason I really love Flash Ghost, besides for its amazing team fight potential, is because in laning phase, if you get ganked, if you're a little bit scared of something happening, you just pop your ghost and run. And if you have to blow your flash to survive, then you can do so. But more often than not, all you're gonna have to use is the ghost. This red pot is about to fade. Please God, finally. So red pot is a 350 gold investment. It makes your early game much more powerful, but it's a sacrifice because you lose a lot of your potential gold income that you could be spending on other things for that chance at a kill. And even if you pick up first blood with red pot, if you don't get more than a 350 gold advantage, like if you don't out CS him by a lot, then it's actually a lot of times not really that worth it. I got my ultimate now. It's Hemo Plague. It's a AoE move. You can see the range right here. And if you land it on someone, then they take 12% increased damage from all sources for the next 5 seconds. So in team fights, if you can land a good Hemo Plague, then that just amplifies your whole team's damage output by a really nice amount. It amplifies your own damage, of course, too. So using it in skirmishes and in fights, you want to pop it as soon as possible if you think you're going to be fighting to the death on someone. But it costs 20. Oh, and it doesn't cost any health.
So much blood.
Your pool costs 20% of your current health every time you use it, so you gotta be really careful. You don't want to waste pool just because you get scared. You want to save it for the opportune moment. Because if you waste your pool, you could be actually, like for example, if Jax charged up his stun and I immediately like pooled because I got scared, and then I'd probably there's a really good chance I'd be taking more damage from popping my pool than he'd actually be dealing to me if he got his combo off. Fiddlesticks maybe coming top. He's just standing there. I think he wants to gank me, which is kind of weird because I'm pushed all the way to my turret. Yeah, he's backing off now. So I'm just playing very passively. I'm outCSing Jax by around 15 right now, which is pretty good. And I'm approaching level 9, which is when Vladimir hits his major power spike. I'm sitting on a bit of gold. Jax, I believe, does not have a ward, and he's actually zoned from his creep wave right now. Not sure what he's doing. He may be backing because he's afraid and he wants to get a ward. Yeah, he just went back. Alright, I'm going to push out and back too. I have enough gold to get my Hextech Revolver, which is an amazing item on Vladimir. It gives you Spell Vamp, which scales really well because once you have a decent amount of Spell Vamp, you can just spam your E and keep up those Tides of Blood stacks and do a lot more, both in laning and in team fights. I think I can safely push this up to his turret before he comes back. He should be back soon, but I don't think he'll be able to fight me. He has to get all these creeps. Alright, just gonna go back. I actually had just enough gold for my Spirit of Spectre Wraith, and here's where the fun will begin. It costs 2,000 gold. It's an item designed for junglers, but in reality, it's just so gold efficient that it's really strong on a lot of laners too. Vladimir is probably the champion that I buy it the most on. Looks like bot lane died. Ezreal's getting a little bit fed. That's not good. I just gotta start building this Jax now that I finish this item and try to carry the game from up here. What was I saying? But it's an item designed for junglers, but it's really good on laners. It gives 20% spell vamp, 10% CDR, 40 AP, and 10 mana regen, which is actually kind of wasted. But just the fact that you get so much free spell vamp, bonus AP, and you get to do more damage to creeps, which is not really the reason you buy it, but it's just like an added bonus. Make it really lucrative to pick up on champions like Vladimir. Right here you can see I'm starting to stack my E. I wasn't able to do that before, but now that I have a decent amount of spell vamp, I can easily just do it without many regrets. I'm faster than him. He popped Ghost and Ignite. I'm gonna try to heal off these camps. Probably gonna miss that wave anyway. I think he went back.
Which vessel shall I empty next?
Just a level 9, just gonna keep Q spamming. Get a sizable amount of health back every time I use that. That's a little bit scary. He popped his Ghost and all in me with Ignite. I don't have Ignite, so I can't really fight him on the same level. All I have is Ghost and Flash, which are not both offensive summoner spells. They can be used offensively, but they're not inherently offensive. But a Jax without Ghost has very reduced kill potential on me, so I actually sort of doubt he'll be able to do something like that again. And I just want to sort of stay in lane. And, shit. Good Fiddlesticks gank. Maybe someone can clean up? No, maybe that's the same mid. That was so well timed. He just snuck into top rush and came out with his ultimate. Fiddle popped his flash to get the red buff take off on me, which allowed them to chase. I tried to flash afterward, but I was already too low. We're just gonna have to hold top here and wait for me to come back. Let's see. Anyway, 20 gold for CR boots. Might not be a bad idea. I think I'm gonna do that. Oh, never mind. Got enough for my team. Okay. Heading back top. They're not actually gonna have to finish this turret. They're pretty low off the gank and the preceding tower dive. I'm heading back top. I finished my spirit. I finished my CDR boots. Right now I'm at 26% CDR. CDR is a really valuable stat on Vladimir. By late game, you want to be trying to incorporate a build that allows you to complete or get to 40% CDR, because being able to spam your abilities is really the most important thing, in addition to having like a decent amount of magic pen and an hourglass. I'm just going to push this up. And let's see. Jax has 71 CS. I have 98. So despite that last death, which was really mostly set up by the Fiddlesticks, I'm still doing pretty well for myself in terms of farm. Jax is coming back soon. His Ghost is going to be up in 51 seconds. I know this because that's when my Ghost is coming up. And I'm going to try to bully him up a little bit while I wait. So a really nice harassment combo on Vlad. You just walk up, EQ when they're in range. And right now he has to make the choice between giving up CS or taking an EQ to the face. And because I have so little CDR, or so much CDR, I can choose to just use this constantly on him. And due to my Spirit of Spectre Wraith and my passive Q regen, I barely take any damage, even if I eat a turret shot or two to set this up.
There is a monster in all of us.
He's right there. He's trying to decide if he wants to recall to fill his health pool back up, or to completely give up these creeps. And I think he doesn't want to give up the creeps. This could also mean that Fiddlesticks is coming top, because he had previously given them up, but now he's like sort of reconsidering. He's coming back to turret. I wouldn't be surprised to get ganked by Fiddlesticks again. Fuck. I didn't think it would be so soon. I should have just backed off. I was talking about it and I just died to it. That's so bad. That turret's probably gonna go down, and Moon is heading mid. I should have warded over this wall. Fiddlesticks loves ganking from those kind of angles. I could have just walked up and warded here the last time I pushed Jax off his turret, and I would have been 100% safe to just proxy like that and continue what I was doing. Again, Amtome here and 2 wards. This Fiddlesticks really loves me, so I'm just gonna buy 2 wards to protect against his evilness. Heading back top. I'm getting pushed in right now, but never fear. Vladimir hyperscales into late game. I think he's one of the best late game teamfight champions in the game. If you have a lot of AP and an hourglass, you can just jump into teamfight, zone it, like completely zone any carry, do massive AoE damage, and just be like a real pain in the heck to deal with. Alright, let's set this up properly. So let's get a ward here, and I'll throw one here. His turret's still around half health, so I have some opportunity to bully him up. Let's see his items. He has a Bilgewater. Popped his ghost, I have to pop mine, and we trade summoner spells again. Gosh dang it. He's so much on mine now. Literally all he has is Merc Treads, but it's still a lot.
Shall I empty next?
I had opportunities to pick up kills on him. I just gave him away because I didn't ward properly against Fiddlesticks. Honestly, it's my bad.
No one.
Just gonna let this wave push in and heal the full off of it. Go team. Oh no, he's back. Fiddlesticks, run! Oh, Karma. Wow, that Karma's really tanky. What the heck is he building?
In ruin.
It's Karma mid. It's like AD Karma. Jax could honestly be moving to that dragon fight, but because he was pushing me in, because he took the aggressive stance in lane, I'm not really in a position to leave without sacrificing like a ton of CS. Now I'm moving, it's a little bit late. Getting boxed in by Jax. That's not good. He's dead. He's dead too.
Enemy double kill.
Alright, this is the part where I come in and get a pentakill while they're doing dragon. I can't pull! I got silenced. Oh, this game is so bad. Run, friend! Well, that could have potentially been a few kills. I didn't get my pool out there. I think if I did, I would have been able to stall for my next rotation. Although I would have got silenced. Actually, if the silence is midair and I managed to cast my pool, I would have came out of pool while the silence was ending, and I probably would have got an extra QE off. At least killed the Janet. I'm not sure about the Karma, but that was a bit of risky situation to go for. We already were down 2 people, and they had 5 strong at dragon. I'm gonna pick up a Seeker's Arm Guard, Health Pot, and a Ward, and head back top. Seeker's Arm Guard is the build up to Zonya's Hourglass. It's the primary, it's the little component. If you kill 30 CS, then you get 15 bonus armor and AP, and that's just it's generally an item you want to complete early. For example, if you're laying against the AD champion and you're having a tough time and you know you want to get an hourglass that game, you can always get it. This Jax is back here. He's really strong though. He's almost got his blade finished. I'm just not really in a position to duel him. My prime time for beating Jax has sort of passed. Trying to farm up and get 1,600 gold so I can get needlessly large rod and start working on that. Start working on that Zion's hourglass.
Darkness, I am truly alive.
Yo, what's up? What are you doing?
I shall
Alright,
leave this
so
place
Jax pushed in top.
in
I have no
ruin.
idea where their team is. I'm just gonna ward this because I would hate to be staying here farming and to get ulted by Fiddlesticks again. They could honestly be going for Baron now. It's kind of scary that we don't have a ward there.
And master.
I push this up. Oh no, AD Karma's in trouble. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's just getting. He got Spectral Scout. He's probably working on. He's gonna work on Spear Visage next. Bears, take this. I don't want them to take control of our jungle and for us to lose buffs. Damn, that was 11. It came down to 11 health there. Oh, they finished Baron. Oh, I knew it. Karma's not gonna die, is she? Jehovah, stop! Oh my god. Why are you doing that? Jehovah, go! What? What are you doing? Why is she doing that? Okay, what happened in that team fight? So we got this Sona ult off. There's two people grouped up, Jaina and Fiddlesticks, I believe. I tried to drop my comm on them, but I got silenced again before I could get my pool off, which is really unfortunate because that potentially could have been a one-team fight, despite the fact like we killed a bunch of people even though they had Baron, and it started off pretty unideally. I'm gonna head back top right now. I'm gonna get a few wards because if I had managed to get an extra ward for Baron, then we would have saw them sneaking it, and they wouldn't have been able to get that. But that's a pretty big advantage given to them at 20 minutes into the game. Heading back top, probably gonna do double golems, and this Karma's pretty beast right now. A little scared. What happened there was Joa like went under my desk and started moving my chair, so I got like disoriented, but that had nothing to do with the fight. Pushing top out. I need 300 gold for my needlessly large rod. I get bonus 80 AP at that point, which is definitely gonna help out my combos. I'm gonna push out an extra wave so I can get that. I don't think Varus can hold Jax. Actually, he has red buff and blade. He might be able to kite him out after the initial stun fades.
So much blood.
Try and get this turret down.
For purpose.
Enemy rampage.
Ah, shit.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Which vessel shall I empty next?
Going mid.
Has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
I need 300 more gold to finish my Zanyas. Hopefully they don't get an inhib off this. They look like they want it though. Going mid. I think they're backing off. So I need 250 gold for Zanyas. Once I have that, I'll be a bit more powerful in team fights. To be honest, if this game wasn't going so badly and I could get my Zanyas, it would be so beast. With 4% CDR and Zanyas, you can actually go into the team fight, drop your ult, drop your QE combo, pop your pool. When you come out of pool, they're like all like trying to focus you. The AD carry, who you're ideally gonna be sitting on, will be ready to shoot you, and you just pop your Zanyas afterward, and your pool will come up like within a second or two of your Zanyas fading, and you can just keep kiting like that. And if you have Ghost Flash, then you can just like pop your Ghost or your Flash or whatever you need to, and keep kiting around while doing massive AoE damage. I have my Zanyas now. I'm gonna go pick that up right here.
Commands me.
1 second. Go to your bed. Alright, got my Zanyas. If we can win one good team fight here, we can take the game back into our control. Oh, they're on a Moo. I'm coming.
The skies will rain red.
Oh, might be able to pick them off. Say we bum rush them.
I shall leave this place.
Please. Trying to get back. Ah, we lost that fight. Run!
So much blood.
I don't think you can kill the Ezreal.
For purpose.
I gotta heal him too low. Jack's probably calming me. We saw the Fiddlesticks standing there. I started running at him. Thought we'd be able to follow up, and then they all just jumped at me from this side.
Commands me.
That definitely did not go the way we would have liked. Jax is just mowing down this turret. I'm gonna head back up there and try to stop him. I have literally no magic ban at this point, but it's basically just because I'm behind. 25 minutes in the game, I easily want to have finished my Void Staff by now. If I go for a heavy CDR build with Spirit of Spectral Wraith and CDR boots, then I always want to get Void Staff generally after my Hourglass. You just need the magic penetration, especially when you have almost none from items. Hey, Mac mid. After completing Void Staff, you can choose if you want more damage, you can go for like Rabadons. If you're against a lot of melee champions and you want to be able to kite them out, you can go for like a Rylai's, which is not a bad item at all on him. And if you need like MR and stuff, you can throw in an Abyssal. It's really up to you. An item I actually like picking up against heavy AP champions, once I finish my Spirit, you can go for Spirit Visage. And they buffed it recently, so even though it was pretty good before, it's even better now. And you can just pick that up. It synergizes really well with the insane amount of spell damage you get from that Spirit item. And if you're against a heavy AP burst team, then they're not going to be bursting you down very easily. You have a lot of MR, a lot of effective HP in team fights, and you'll still do pretty respectable base damage. And of course, Spirit Visage gives a lot of CDR, 20% to be exact, so you can still get a bunch of rotations off. Heading back bot. I have 213 CS right now. Pretty farmed up, which sort of makes up for my lack of kills. Got bullied really hard by the Fiddlesticks ganks, and kind of ended up putting me on the underfarmed side of things, but I'm working hard to come back.
I shall leave this place.
I'm less than a level from level 6 from level 16. If I can get that, I'll get an additional rank at Hemoplague, which could be pretty good. Marin's back up. And they're doing it. Gotta move. Charging on my E, prepping up for the team fight. It's at 9k, they backed off. Oh my god, this Karma's unkillable. He's just throwing himself at us so he can heal off his W. And I don't have time to get my rotation off. It's such a bad team fight. I think we're just too far behind at this point to do much. No, Anivia. Alright, I'm gonna pick up a blasting rod here. Try working my Void Staff, but it looks like we're getting pressured really hard. That was not an ideal team fight. We kind of tried to initiate into a Fiddlesticks, and at that point, if we had kept chasing and followed up on the Amumu ultimate, which was a pretty good one to be fair, we would have all got calmed down by the Fiddlesticks with Zanya's, and it would have just been like a dead zone right here. So we tried to back up, tried to come in after the ult and maybe burst down the Fiddlesticks, but that didn't really work out either because our tank line dies too fast. It's literally just like a Amumu at this point. And while he has decent items. He's still just gonna die really fast to their team. Oh no! I don't think we can do that. Warning. Keep running. That Karma build's pretty interesting.
No one commands me.
Got a bunch of attack speed, so he can get his passive off, his ult launch or whatever off cooldown really fast. And the Spirit Visage, which amplifies his W cooldown, which I'm assuming he uses every time it's off when he can. It doesn't really scale that well, but it's really strong mid game, and he's almost impossible to kill in these team fights, even if he just runs at us and gets to like 10% health. Alright, looking to farm up my Void Staff. If there's a chance of coming back, we're gonna have to be farming. Like, Varus needs to get his last whisper, I need to get my Void Staff, and Anivia probably needs to get her Void Staff too. But, just gotta work on that. Let's see if Dragon's up.
I am truly alive.
They still haven't done Baron yet. Ezreal's bot. They can afford to split up though because their team's just really strong.
He is godlike.
I shall leave
Oh god.
this place in
Jack's
ruin.
just wrecking. Yeah, we can't even get proper wards down. We just die too fast.
Never falter.
I'm gonna W before she gets her tether off
So much blood
and back off.
waiting for purpose.
If I waited for her to cast her W before pooling, then I think she would have kept the tether on me and I would have got snared, which would have been bad.
This is my realm.
I need a little bit more EXP for 16. I need 18 more. Very, very close. My ult is now up.
Which vessel shall I empty next?
Trying to clear mid before it pushes too hard into us. Charging up those E stacks, because I think they're probably going to dive us soon.
Truly alive. I shall leave this place in ruin.
Hit it once. Oh, we got it. Nice. We didn't get that one.
The skies will rain red.
Jack's got a blue pot, not bad. Gives CDR and AP. Jax goes really well off AP, so blue pot's not a bad idea in any scenario. Hey, he's gonna try to push top. He's strong enough to dive me, I think, which is a little bit scary. He's just tooling us top while they get damage off bot. Actually, they're not getting that much damage off bot. It's not that bad.
There is a monster in
I only need 400 more golds for my Void. Can't really kill him even if Varus gets a good ult off. Probably just pop blade and run away. I'm on the fiddle. I can't go too hard for that. Fiddlestick's such an annoying champion. Running back top. Zach's got the inhib turret. Varus can't 1v1 him, so no surprises there. I couldn't even get my Zhonya's off. I got silenced. This is not the best game.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Pretty unfortunate because I was trying to do my show. Generally, I win or at least get pretty fed. But I think I'll just talk about most of the mistakes that were made and then sort of go into what I want to accomplish on Vladimir. Normally I get to show it in the actual game that I play, but I'll just break it down for a little bit after this game's over to make up for that. Good game. Well played. 0-6-2, 240 CS. Not the way you want to go out. Alright, so essentially what happened that game was I built up a pretty sizable farm lead on the Jax. The rest of my lanes weren't doing so hot. Bot lane was dying a bit, but for the most part people were keeping up in farm, and there was actually a point where I thought we were going to start overtaking them. But everything started to go downhill on the first and second Fiddlesticks gank. The first one, I just honestly didn't really consider the fact that he'd be top. I just pushed out Jax. We went in a really close skirmish, and I came out ahead. He popped Ghost and Ignite on me, and I only popped my Ghost, so I still had Flash available, and I was back to full health. and I had just finished my spirit item, so I thought I was in a really, really good position to take control of the lane and just pressure him and try to carry off top. Because if you remember, I was like, oh dang, people aren't doing so hard. Like I need to kill this Jax and get an advantage. But what I failed to factor in was